Hi, everybody. Again, it's me. So this is part two of my update. Yeah, that was we had a yesterday, and it's today. Today is Wednesday. So I am going to be going to English Club soon. We'll talk English Club. And tonight we're watching a movie called Soul. I know it's an old movie. A lot of people have seen it before, but it has a great theme for discussion. So we'll have a time of working on some new words before the movie, and then after the movie we'll have some discussion time. So I'm really looking forward to that tonight. It's good, should be interesting, and I hope that a lot of people come. Since I've returned back to Ukraine, I have gained two new students. One of them is a young boy. He is fourth grade, I believe he is, from my village. And sorry, I'm looking at people as they're driving by because I saw my friend ride by on his bike. I'm like, Sasha! But my car wasn't on and I couldn't roll down the window, so it's kind of hard to scream at somebody or even beep your horn when your car's not on. Anyway, I divert. I have this habit of diverting. What was I saying? Yes, English Club tonight. We're going to watch the movie Soul. We're going to have some vocabulary beforehand, and we're going to do a discussion afterwards. And Soul has some great themes throughout it, some great meanings throughout the movie. So I want to make sure that we just don't watch the movie, but we talk about it as well. It's all part of learning English. Yeah, I've gained two new students. One is a boy in my village, and his name is Dima, and his mom is wanting him to increase his English skills. She's finding that he's kind of lacking a little bit in school, and so we started it together. And it's interesting because he can read English and he can write, but his understanding of the spoken English is not that great. So I'm doing a lot of L1, so that means that I'm doing a lot in Russian and my broken Ukrainian. My Ukrainian is not that well, but we understand each other. And he's actually gotten better. He's a very good student, I might say. I think that's a part of mom and dad pushing him, making sure that he studies, because he knows his, we did some past simple and past continuous, and he has a good understanding of those. He made few mistakes, but for the most part, he's doing well. And I gained another student. Her name is Dasha, I believe her name is. I haven't met with her yet. We meet on Monday, and she is going to immigrate to Canada. She's leaving in a month. And so we're going to have discussion time. No grammar, but just discussion. And we're going to talk about how to get it, how to apply for a job. We're going to talk about ordering in a restaurant. We're going to talk about getting credit cards, and that sort of thing. So we'll have a discussion on how to do how to live in a country that's not your own. And she really sought me out because there are some connections that happened there. My coworker, her godmother, knows this young lady, and the godmother called me. And I got connected with this young lady, Dasha. So it's kind of a network of things, So God is good, and He brings the people to me that He wants me to work with, and to help them. One of my students has. She's in the first grade, and her teachers realize that she's really bored in class, in the English class. So they raised her up to the second grade level in her English. So that was like, wow, a huge compliment to me. She's actually doing really well, and she likes to study on her own without her parents telling her. She's reading really well. She's actually reading above her grade level, and understanding above her grade level. I gave her a test a couple weeks ago, and I was actually very shocked. So I'm proud of her. She's doing the work. I'm just helping her. And then I have two other students that I've been working with for quite a while as well. And even through the ups and downs of moods and whatever, they are steadily increasing in their language. And they have a family that lives in America, an aunt and a grandma, and they hope to someday maybe, be able to speak to their aunt in English. Of course, she's Ukrainian and she understands Ukrainian, but still she lives in America. And maybe one day they'll actually be able to go visit America and visit with their aunt and their grandma and that sort of thing, and be able to make friends there. So there's always a goal in mind that the parents have as far as me working with their children. Is not just to increase their level of language for school, but there is a goal that the parents have, maybe in their back of their minds, that they have for these students, and they want them to succeed, and they feel that it's important for them to work with a national speaker. That would be me. And so that's why I'm here. And it's a drop in the bucket, kind of. It's not like one of those big ministries out there. It's just really small. It's just me, and I'm trying to help people the way that I can, and through what I've done, through word of mouth, other people have heard of me and like, hey, can you teach me? Or former students have called and said, hey, I have a friend who wants to learn English. Can he come to your English club, or can you teach him? It's just the way that things work. People call me and say, I'm leaving for America in 2 months and I need English, or I'm in America and I'm drowning, I don't know any English, can you help me? They're talking to their friends talk to me, and it's just a whole network that's been kind of built up, the Vanessa network, you might say. But again, it's a small drop in the bucket. It's not a huge ministry. It's not where you're out there and people see you all the time, and this big church ministry. It's just a little small thing, and I do what I can do to help people, and I'm glad to be able to help. And I have one student who moved to America, and with her family, and it's really not wild, but it's really cool, because she was really afraid. She's a believer, and one of her fears was being able to sing in English, to sing to the Lord on a worship team in English. And I told her, you can do it. I know you can do it. And I said, through singing, it will help you in speaking as well. I know it's helped me, just learning songs in Ukrainian and in Russian. Those have both helped me in my speaking. I'm learning words here, learning words there, and I'm putting the dots together, you might say. So then one day I saw a picture, a video of her singing on the worship team. And I wrote her, is that you? Are you singing on the worship team? She said, yes. I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Congratulations. You're doing a really good job. And she said, thank you. And she said, I don't use my Ukrainian Bible anymore. I use my English Bible, and I do my devotions in English, and I do my prayer time in English, and I come to church. Church is all in English, and I use my English Bible. I don't use my Ukrainian Bible. So she is becoming, I wouldn't say she's becoming more American, but she has adapted more to America. And I think that's cool. If you immigrate to America and you still want to use your Ukrainian Bible, that's fine. It might help you as well. But for her, she wanted to do it with her English Bible. So great, and I'm great to hear reports like that, of one of my students going from a first grade reading level to a second grade reading level, because her teachers discover, hey, she's bored, she needs a little bit of challenge. And I agree with them, she does need a challenge. And so I'm looking at things to how can I challenge her in her reading and her understanding of English. And my students in the village, some of them need challenges as well, and so I'm looking to how can I challenge them. They can read, but they can't write. They write as they hear it. So cat, K-E-T, cat. But that's how they hear it, and that's how they spell it. Of course, I do the same thing in any other language. So that's how we learn. Yeah. So that's why I go back to the village, and I'm working with them on their vowels, because there's vowels in all the words in English, and those are ones that we have to help us to connect the words, connect the letters together. C-A-T, cat, K-I-T-E, kite. And I'm helping them to learn syllables, and helping them to learn how to group certain letters together, and what letters make what sounds and why. And so that's putting out little light bulbs in their head. In fact, I did that with one of my students, and I explained the C rule, and I just saw her light bulb just like go being is like, wow, I understand that now. So that's really cool. So yeah, and I know that I've written before and said that I really want to get involved in the street feeding that we have, and I just haven't yet. The timing of when they go out and my lessons just don't work together. And so I'm still praying about how I can be involved. And I think some of that might be once I harvest whatever I can harvest from my garden this year. I can donate that, like not donate it, but give it away. Donate it, give it away. Give it away, donate. I guess the same thing. To them to use for feeding. You know, the cabbages, the spinach, and the what else? Carrots and that sort of thing. Those are all good for making soups and you know, that sort of thing. So there's that, and I might start getting a box of fruit and leaving it at the church and telling the guy who's in charge of the feeding to say, hey, there's a box of fruit at the church for the street feeding. And that's about, you know, all I can do. It was kind of weird. Somebody came in and got in their car that's sitting next to me, like, oh, who is that person walking up next to me? Here I am on the street, sitting parked in my car, doing an update for you guys. So, that's about it. I am still doing a lot of yard work. In fact, this weekend, a friend of a friend is coming to clean up the orchard area, chop down some trees. There's some trees that were chopped down previously. That's just huge stumps. You know, it's like, why is that there? I'm like, I don't know. I bought all this. This is the way it was. So he's going to come and he's going to, like he said, clean things up a little bit. I'm still looking for a tractor to, like I said in the video earlier, to turn over the dirt. And I know that there's a phrase for that, and I just can't remember it. I'm not a farmer. I mean, I'm a farmer now, but I really wasn't a farmer. I was a city girl. So this is a city girl turned into a farmer girl. It's like wild. And I still sit on my bed sometimes and think, what am I doing? Why have I bought this house with all this land? But it's for God's glory. And I believe that God's going to use the house and the land in many, many different ways. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really hoping to get that garden turned over somehow. Maybe I just need to hire like 10 guys and everybody come with a shovel and dig. I have no idea. So planting season is supposed to start after Catholic Easter, which is this weekend. And because we have two Easters, Catholic Easter and Orthodox Easter. Our church, my church, celebrates both just because we want to be sensitive to those in the church and those in the community. Because some do Orthodox, and it's not the Russian Orthodox, it's just the Eastern Orthodox. So there's that. Yeah, so that's about it from my end of things. I'm settling in. I have settled back into life, and things are going. I haven't heard anything more about anything from lawyers or executors or anything like that, and I don't think I will until April. Then I might get a little update. We'll see. But it is what it is, and that's what it is, and it is. So I'll come back at you next month. So if you have any prayer requests, please send me a prayer request, and I will add you to my notebook. I have a notebook that I write all these prayer requests down in, and I will add you to my prayer request. So I love you guys all. Bye. Mwah.